free comedy. What you did was very bad. But I hope my message can help you. Obviously, I'm a Pali graduate. By the time I graduated Pali, I had been arrested at least 5 times. One of the incidents actually involved a car wreck, but it wasn't on campus, and I didn't go to jail. So you're the hardened fellow. 10 years ago, I was in the exact same position you guys are in right now. Except for you, all of you that haven't been arrested like Wayne and I. We had our speech over on campus in the courtyard. I don't know if it's still there. And the person who gave my speech was Steve Jobs of Apple Computers. His daughter was in my graduating class. I was 18 years old. I didn't know anything. I still don't. But then I really didn't know anything. I love books. I like to read. I knew it's crazy, but I did. I love painting. I had taken classes at Palo Alto Art League from 3 to 10 p.m. every day just to stay out of trouble. And I liked acting. But I only started my last year of high school. I started because this guy had written a romantic one-act play. And of all the people in the class, he decided to ask my girlfriend to be in it with him. And I begged her not to do it, but she did the right thing and ignored me, and she did it anyway. So to get back at her, I joined the drama class, and I did the last 2 productions of the year. Not that anyone came to see them. So, I was graduating. For whatever reason, my parents didn't want me to go to art school. I guess they wanted me to get a well-rounded education. So painting was out. And growing up here in Palo Alto, very little experience. Acting didn't seem like a possibility. My father wanted me to be a math major. And that wasn't happening, so we made a compromise. I would go to UCLA to study English. I didn't even apply to Stanford. I wanted out of Palo Alto, but I'm sure Palo Alto was glad to be rid of me. Not that Stanford was taking me. So there I was, 5 arrests under my belt, listening to Steve Jobs, about to graduate. And all I really knew is that I was going to have to break up with my girlfriend and did the play. We were going to different cities. I was going to LA where I didn't know anyone, and I was going to study English, which sounded okay, but it wasn't that exciting. So Steve was up at the podium, and he told us that he dropped out of college. Steve Jobs dropped out of college. That was great. Billionaire Steve Jobs dropped out, and I could drop out. So if any of you make the brilliant move, dropping out of college, you're going to say, well, Steve Jobs did. Franco. I doubt it'll work, I'm just kidding. The point of Steve's speech is that he dropped out of college, but he didn't stop taking classes. So take note. Once he dropped out, he was free of taking the required classes, and he could take the classes that he was interested in. We all know how Steve ended up, so it sounded like great advice to me. I went to UCLA, I studied English, but it just wasn't doing it for me. I love literature, but I was in LA. And in LA, everyone is an actor. The waiters are actors, the bartenders are actors, even doctors in LA are actors. So why couldn't I be an actor? There was a guy in my dorm that was on this terrible TV show called Sybil, and I thought, well, why couldn't I do it? Why couldn't I be on civil? I thought I'd give it a try. I wasn't a theater major at UCLA, and they told me I couldn't even apply to be a major until I was a junior. I couldn't wait. So I found an acting school outside of UCLA, and pretty soon acting became my focus. My grades were terrible at UCLA, terrible. So against everyone's advice, I left. My parents, I should say, they told me if I wasn't going to school, I was going to have to support myself. I told them, well, I'm going to acting school, that's my education. But no, they weren't having it. So I had to get a job. The only problem was I had no car, so I had to get a job within walking distance of my apartment. And I had no job experience. I'd been fired from a cafe on Middlefield, falsely accused of stealing $2, and fired from the local golf course for eating a naked lunch while driving the car to pick up the ball. So the only place I could get a job within walking distance of my apartment was McDonald's. So there I was, 19 years old. I dropped out of college to work at McDonald's. My parents were very proud. But I was doing what I loved. It was a decision I made on my own, so I had to make it work. I worked my ass off. I went to acting school in the day, I took Big Master night. And after about 2 months, I booked a Pizza Hut commercial, and I didn't have to work at McDonald's anymore. I was on my way up. But I kept working hard. After hundreds of auditions, a lot of hard work, I started booking jobs on amazing shows like Pacific Blue. And if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much like Baywatch on bicycle. Great stuff. But I was working, and I kept going to acting school. I made it a point to work harder than anyone else at school. And even when I started booking jobs regularly, I'd go back to school. I went to the school for 8 years. So with all the time I spent in acting school, I could probably almost be a doctor by now. I'm sure you're all glad I'm not going to be performing surgery on any of you. I definitely went to extremes. When I was a little older, I got a job on a movie with Robert De Niro. And you youngins don't know who he is. That's a crime. You didn't know him as a comedic actor, but he's one of the greatest American actors ever. So I was going to play his son, his homeless son, who was hooked on heroin. So I had to get into the part. I didn't do heroin, but I did everything else that I could. I went to needle exchange programs, I went to detox centers, and then I had the brilliant idea that I'd be homeless for a while. So my friend and I went down to downtown LA, to an area that's very bad, where I'd actually observed drug deals while I was doing a different movie. So we thought we'd go down and just observe what was going on. And 2 minutes after we got there, 2 guys walked up to us and said, how's it going, Hollywood? So our cover was blown. But that didn't stop us, we just needed better costumes. We got ratty clothes, we covered them in dirt, we poured beer on them and on ourselves. And we went out to Santa Monica. And we were homeless for a weekend. We decided not to use any of our own money, so we went to Meals on Wheels, we panhandled, and eventually we were starving. We couldn't make any money, so we decided to make a sign, and we stood on at a freeway exit ramp and held up our sign, homeless, please help.